Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Run a blade across your head. Resist charge for a punishment. Preparation gone, you're already dead. Lay down the fire, flake at all sides. Don't know what's coming, but you enjoy the ride. Running deep, forward to the fight.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest who has some killer music, and what I really love about it is it's different, which is hard to find nowadays, okay? So let's welcome to the show Sonny from ARC. How are you?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And you're right, it is different. Sometimes to a bad reason, sometimes to a good reason. But it's definitely, you know, when I started this, it was a friend of mine said, "ARC is a question. Will it work?" Because you have these blazing keyboard solos and you have these guitar solos at the same time, and it's kind of like techno and industrial and heavy metal at the same time. So it's not a lot of bands do that, especially in America.
No.
You know, that I don't know about. So I'm trying something and seeing if it works, and it's getting there. I think it's getting there.
Well, what I dig about it is, I say all the time, it seems like nowadays metal has this like algebraic equation that bands use to make a formula. And I come from the days, there were no formulas, okay? It was just, you got up there and played, and it was whatever it was, okay, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what I also like is, I like the blending of genres because that's what makes it unique, and it's something that wasn't allowed to be done back in the day. Like, you wouldn't be able to put techno with metal without getting super harassed, okay?
How far back are we talking here?
80s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. It had to be synth pop or heavy metal and nothing in between. That's what it was, yeah.
Totally. And, you know, the thing is, we all from that era liked the other music, but we weren't allowed to admit it. Whichever side you were on, you were.
That's right.
You liked it, but you weren't allowed to admit you liked it. You know?
That's right. The heavy metal guys weren't allowed to like Depeche Mode.
No.
And the Depeche Mode people weren't allowed to like Motley Crue or Whitesnake or anything like that. So it was just, yeah, there was a line drawn down the middle. You're reminding me about that.
And
yeah,
I was a huge Slayer fan, and if you were a Slayer fan, you couldn't like anybody else.
They did something different too. They did something where they were just like, you know, everybody's dressing up like girls and they're singing about love. Let's write about Satan and death and all this other stuff, and not dress up like girls and scare everybody. That's our thing. It's, you know.
And you know the funniest part about that is, okay, so they went up to the Bay Area after Metallica, okay? And I was at both Metallica and Slayer's like first shows down in LA.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Awesome.
And then when Metallica left, we're like, fuck, you're leaving us with all these hair metal bands. And me and my bro, we used to like hitchhike up to the Bay Area to go to the real shows. And then when we went to those shows, we were like, whoa. Like, we thought the LA shows were cool until we went up there. So the funniest part is Slayer, when they ended up going to the Bay Area, they used to wear like the eyeliner because that meant you were evil. That didn't go over well in the Bay Area. The Bay Area bands were like, yeah, no, you're not doing that here, okay? Makeup is makeup is makeup. I don't care what you think. Take it off.
That's true. That's true. And that's kind of what we do at the same time, because besides the music, I started this project as a kind of a vision in my head to create a theme and a performance-based band to be entertainment for the eyes as well as with the ears. That's what I was trying to do. So I cooked up a story. I had a vision in my head of what the band was going to look like, because I'm a visual artist by trade. And I just cooked up this idea that we're from outer space, we're not human. We are these transmissions that are sent from somewhere to Earth. That's why we're called ARC. It's point A to point B.
Nice.
And I made these costumes from scratch. I wired everything. I made these stage props. I created choreography for the band, much to the dismay of my band. But once they started to do it, they liked it, you know. And it's we're trying something different. That's something that I don't see anyone doing. I'm not saying that we're amazing or innovators or anything like that, but we're just daring to do something different. And
see, that's a
really
true
difficult.
artist. That's a true artist to me. Like anybody can sit there and emulate somebody else. And like we
Correct.
all have influences,
Right.
but there's a difference between being influenced by and emulating, you know?
That's right. You're
And
right. You're right.
it takes, to be blunt, it takes balls to just be yourself and go out there and do what your vision is.
Yeah.
And every superstar artist, that's what they did. Like everybody told them how something wouldn't work and they had to do it their way, you know, because that's the vision they had in their head. And I
Right.
think that's the only way to be, like, especially when it comes to music. You have to be real.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to make my mark, and I'm trying to get out there, you know, and show people. I want, what I usually want is, I think of all these ideas and then I act upon them, and I do them at the shows, and I have my singer do this or do that or whatever. I put a smoke cartridge in his vest and make him press a button and roll around the floor like he's smoking and like he's hurt or something like that. And I want people to just go like, wow, what is going on? What are they doing?
I love it.
I like to envelop enough mystery in that where we don't like spoon feed the people. We don't say like, make some noise. We are ARC and we are this, we are that. We say nothing. We get up there, we do our show, we get off. So if you really like it, you want to know what's going on, you will look for us again.
I love it because live shows, first of all, they're just so important. Number one.
Right.
Number two, if I want to listen to the album, I'll listen to the album. I go to a live show for the experience, you know?
Yes.
And it is supposed to be a performance. It's not just like, it's funny because I go on tour and I do radio coverage for like all these festivals all over the US, UK, Europe. And, you know, there's one band in particular, I won't mention who it is, that every media person at every festival is like, oh my God, I love them, but they are so fucking boring. They're just sitting there. They don't even move and they're just playing.
Yeah, I know. They're so good. That's usually what it is. It's even when I really like an artist on Instagram or whatever, and I contact them, they're just like boring as hell. And they just like give me a thumbs up or something like that. I'm like, I'm really inspired by your song. How did you do this? How did you do that? I really like, we should collab one day. And they're just like, yeah, cool, dude. Thanks. You know, like,
right.
Okay. You know.
And then there's other bands that, I don't know, I didn't like them till I saw them live, or maybe I didn't know of them. One of the bands that happened to me with was Bring Me the Horizon. The first time I saw them live, I was like, oh my fucking God, they're now in my top 5 all favorite bands. And that was the first time I ever heard them, you know, and it was like, wow. Or there's bands that I didn't like until I saw them live, because that is different. So, you know, and like, think about it. Okay. So you take a band like Kiss.
Right.
If they didn't do the theatrics they did, would they be around today? I doubt it.
Nope.
Exactly.
And they had the option to unmask during the 80s, and it worked, just like it worked in the 70s. They were doing this heavy metal disco stuff, you know, and they changed with the times, you know, so it was good. You just reminded me of like a band that you saw live, and that like they're in the top 5. Like the first time I saw a Power Trip.
Oh.
You know Power Trip, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the first band, and I was getting a drink, and I turned around and I was like, whoa, they are cool, man. Yes. Yeah.
And I don't
It's
know
like,
if it'll be the same or not, but did you know, like some of the festivals I'm covering this year, they're back this year playing, and
yeah,
I don't know what
yeah,
that's going to be like without him, but oh my God, I was at Psycho Las Vegas, and they were playing a show at one of the hotels, like on this huge platform over the pool, like this concrete thing over the
yeah,
pool, and we
yeah.
were like circle pitting in the pool.
That's awesome. No, they're so cool. It's when a band just like draws you in. Static X2 back in
Yeah.
1999, I think it was. I saw them open for Rammstein, which is my favorite band of all time, by the way. Uh, and he came out and he had this hair sticking straight up. I'm like, what is this dude doing? I'm like, okay, cool. This is different, and they draw you in. And it's like you said before, sometimes they're boring. The reason why I implement this stuff in my band is because anyone can get up there in black t-shirts and just play.
Mm,
You have to set yourself above everybody else and do something
totally.
different. You have to do
Totally.
something different. And
Well, like
that's what
you
we're trying
said,
to do.
Rammstein, perfect example. Like last year, I don't remember which festival it was. I think it was two of them. I saw Hal Lindemann, and oh my
Hmm.
God, that was one of the most disturbing, best live performances I ever
Yeah,
saw in my life.
yeah. That's his thing. That's what he does. That's what he
Uh, oh
does.
my God, the stuff he had, the video he had up there,
Yeah.
like, oh my God, it was so
Yep.
disturbing. You couldn't help but not like it.
I know. It's you want to be a part of it, even though you don't. At the same time, it's just that's what he does, and that's what
Right?
they do. That's what Rammstein has been doing for so many years, and they've also what I really admire about them is they upgrade themselves, they top themselves in every way every year.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do with my band too. You can't keep doing the same thing. You can't be looking the same way. You can't be doing the same stuff on stage. You have to change it up and continue to think about how to make it over the top. If you think of an idea, it's like, well, that's cool. Yeah, I can have a smoke cartridge in my glove and no one will notice it. But how can I make that over the top? How can they make that even better?
Yeah.
That's
I
just
see.
what
I
I'm
love that
trying to do.
too because, again, going back to even bands that put on great performances. When you go to as many shows as I do, after a
Right.
while, it's like people be around me,
Yes.
and I'll
Right.
say the words in between the songs, and they're like,
Yep.
"How you know that?" Like, because it's been the exact same thing for the
It's
past
scripted.
4 years.
Right.
Okay, you know,
Yeah.
I'm okay if it's for
Oh
one
God.
year, but like change it up, evolve, get bigger, get better. Always try to outdo yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally, man. I agree with you 100%. And that's terrible. I haven't seen I haven't seen as many shows as you, and I don't I imagine bands are like that. They don't change a thing.
Oh
That's
no, not at all.
that's
And,
terrible.
and some of them are my like favorite bands, but
Oh,
it
it's
even gets to
terrible.
a point where it's like, yeah, I'll just stay backstage. I've seen this already.
Oh boy.
you know, and,
Yes, sir. I do.
and when you can like predict every single move, it's a great show, but change it up. Kiss did do that. Kiss did change up things. And are there things you can predict about Kiss? Yes, because they're the iconic parts, but it's
Right.
not the whole show.
Yeah.
And so I think that's great about you. That means you're a true artist and a true creative. And I want to know too, explain to the listeners, you have this philosophy, the arc evolves philosophy.
Hmm.
Talk more about
That's
that.
kind of what I was touching on before. It's topping yourself,
Yeah.
and it can happen naturally, or it can happen under your control. And I like to try to do both, just to make sure it happens. Even when you're sitting there, if you have a passion about something, if you like my passion is my band and my music and my creations and all that stuff. If you have a passion about it, it's going to evolve. You're going to think of new ideas. You're going to just keep working it.
Yeah.
If you, it's going to happen naturally, but you also have to really, uh, you have to work on it. You have to stay ahead of yourself mentally, and that's pretty much what arc evolves means, because we started out as a kind of a regular band without a synth player, without a keyboard player. And I wanted a keyboard player. I wanted a synth player in the band. I tried looking for one, couldn't find one. So I told the band, much to their dismay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stop playing guitar in the band, and I'm going to play the synths, and I'm going to learn how to play keyboard, and I'm going to learn how to do all this stuff. So that's what I did. Yeah, and that's what I did. Because I've been a guitar player for, oh God, what year is it, 2025? 27 years.
Wow.
And yeah, like a lead guitar player, and you know, I don't mean to toot my own horn. I'm pretty good. You know, I play leads and arpeggios, and I study you know, Yngwie Malmsteen stuff and Joe Satriani stuff and John Petrucci and all that stuff. I'm not as good as them, but you know, I study under them basically. But but the arc evolves thing is just topping yourself and trying to be better at yourself, at your music. Even if you have to, you know, dare I say it, replace a band member because you think that you could be better off with a better guitar player, a better bass player, a better singer, or something like that. Arc evolves. Arc's always going to evolve, and that's what the mantra is. That's where it comes from.
You know, it's like sometimes fans, they don't want you to evolve, but then they come back. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I was one of those people with Metallica. As soon as the Black, and there were 25 of us that used to see them originally in the clubs, and when they came out with the Black album, I'm like, fuck those posers. But they're still they're still one of my favorite bands.
For All. They were saying that with Injustice for All right after. Actually, yeah. They were saying that with no, that was excuse me, right after Kill 'Em All. They were saying that Ride the Lightning. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. I remember an interview with Cliff and James, and they were like, "Oh, they're selling out," and they're like, "No, we're not. Forget it," you know.
Oh yeah, we were brutal back in the day, and like we were like, okay, so speak of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning. We all said that if you took Fight Fire with Fire and put it on Kill 'Em All, and took Jump in the Fire and put it on Ride the Lightning, Kill 'Em All is the best metal album ever of all time.
Correct. Right. My opinion is Master of Puppets, but that's just me. Okay.
Well, this was before This was before Master. I'm still Kill 'Em All. I'm still Kill 'Em All. I still have. You probably can't understand anything from it because it's taped over 50 times. The original demo.
Oh God, yeah.
From the tape trading days. Like I got one that was taped over like 50 times. If you could tell what it is, great. You know,
there's no magnetism left in it. Yeah,
but
I get it.
You know, but see, that's the point. When you're young like that and an idiot, you don't want your band to evolve. But then you think about it now. I think of it as an adult now. Like, if I'm a musician, do I want to stay being only as good as my garage band days? Like, I mean, really, like even Hetfield, he'll say like the San Jose Sharks, they play Search and Destroy at the games, but they play the original version. He's like, I don't know why they don't do the updated version because I can actually sing now. I sucked then.
He didn't suck then.
I didn't think so. I liked his voice, but
yeah, I like his voice too. I don't like how he sings now. That's just me, you know. But yeah,
it was
raw. I want the old Hetfield back. You know?
It was raw, and it was like had Carmine Appice. He described it as like a chainsaw or jigsaw or something like that. You know, his voice. You know, that whole Metallica sound. You know,
that's right. That's true.
And so now tell everybody how they can reach out to you, you know, on the web, on your socials, check out your music. You have a cool merch store. That's the most important because that's the only way you guys survive. And they can't listen to my show anymore if they don't buy merch from the bands on my show.
That's right. That's right. We're, what did Buckethead or who else said that? That bands are just overpriced shirt salesmen. I think Buckethead said that. I don't know. You can find us on Instagram. It's arc.evolves at arc.evolves. We're mostly on on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook too. It's also arc.evolves. I try to keep it consistent throughout all socials. And if you want to search us on Spotify, if you have Spotify, it's going to be ARC, A-R-C, and you can type out the album name, the latest album name, Awaken the Machine. And you can find us on there, or you can find us anywhere after that. Just ARC, Awaken the Machine, and you can find us. And you can find our previous album from 2 years ago on there as well.
And what can give them some like juice of why they should listen to the newest music?
Because it's aptly named Awaken the Machine for a reason. Originally, our first album was called Dark Mirrors. All right. And it was really just a compile of songs that me and the guitarist wrote. And I kind of just put synths over because I transitioned from the guitar player to the synth player. And it wasn't us finding our sound yet. So Awaken the Machine is awakening the machine and us finally finding our sound. But we're going to continue to evolve. Like, I think Kerry King said it. He says usually it takes bands about 3 albums to find their sound. And, I think we found our sound in 1.
And it's interesting that Kerry said that because he has sounded the same since 1981.
Yeah, I know. He's the luckiest MF on this planet. He really
Right?
is. Yeah, anyone can do his job, but he's Slayer.
And it's funny when he was coming out with his new project beforehand, he told people, he's like, if you're expecting something different, it's just going to be a continuation of the last Slayer album.
I can't do anything else. It's like I can't do anything. Yeah, I'm still going to wear my sunglasses. I still don't have eyes. I'm just going to do Slayer. That's what I'm going to do, and I'll go see it.
I think what's funny is when he lost his hair is when he gained his shades.
That's true. That's right. Yeah, you're right. I miss him with hair, though.
I know, right? And those huge
really
spikes. Do you remember those like nails?
Yeah.
Those huge nails. That was badass.
I'm a little young for that time, but like I have some friends that were old enough to be like teenagers or 20 years old during that time, and they're like, those were serious businessmen. You still stayed away from people that were wearing those because they would literally just like stab you with them.
Oh yeah,
there'd be nails brought into shows.
100%.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was wild times, and then you went to Suicidal shows, and the Suey boys used to be in the pit with switchblades.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of crazy back in the day.
It kind of that's a little better than G.G. Allen, I would imagine.
Yeah, right.
Tell me about it.
I got a trivia question for you then.
All right.
What famous comedian was on a talk show impersonating G.G. Allen?
Oh, geez. Can you give me a time frame?
I don't know the time frame, but
like a year.
I'll give you a hint that you might detect some pets.
I might detect some pets.
Riddle me this, riddle me
I know.
That was another hint, by the way. The riddle me this, riddle me that was another
I know,
hint.
yeah. Okay, so it was Jim Carrey.
Yep.
I'm surprised. I never seen him do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta look it up, man. And I forget what he was on. I think it was Maury Povich or one of those shows. He's running up and down the aisles and he's like screaming in people's faces. Like it's wild.
That was when he was like, really, really funny and nuts. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh I gotta see that. I gotta watch that.
Oh yeah, it's funny as shit.
And I'm even happier that I figured it out.
Hey, see that? You did good.
Thanks.
Any final words you want to leave our listeners with?
Just give us a shot. We're trying something. If you ever come to our live shows, we are going to command your attention. You are not going to leave until the last song. I guarantee it.
I love it. Because that's what it's all about right there, man. I'm that type, man. I want to be just as excited on the last song as I am the first song.
You will not be bored. You will not be bored.
That's a good thing. Don't be
Right.
don't be that other band.
No. No.
All right, bro. Well, thanks a lot for making us great music, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.